Throne and Liberty had its official launch in Korea today, and I have been playing it all day. I was streaming it earlier, but we had some technical difficulties, so we had to shut down the stream. We'll be back again tomorrow with another stream. And you guys have been asking me what I think about the game, what I feel about the game, and my impressions so far. So I was like, why not just put it all into a video and let's jump into it. So Throne and Liberty so far, what do I think about it? First of all, let's talk about the game graphics. Okay, the graphics of this game are absolutely phenomenal. The game looks absolutely beautiful. You get a nice zoom in. Look at that. Look at that whale right there. Do you see that whale up there flying right there? You can jump on top of it and fly with it. It's amazing. So the graphics overall, I'm very pleasantly surprised. And overall, it does not require you to have a very crazy engine or a super high-end rig. I ran this game on my 2060 while streaming and everything, and the game looks absolutely marvelous on it. So phenomenal stuff. I have ping issues, of course, because it's in Korea. So the ping, of course, is not the best, but overall performance wise, I would say that they've done a great job with the game. It doesn't require you to have a crazy and high tier PC. Now, the main thing a lot of people have been questioning about is the skills, okay? Because the skills overall of this game was the main issue in the last beta, but it seems like they've changed a lot of stuff, and you can move while attacking. The skills look cool. Let's hit up this monster real quick. You see, I have a little bit of charge skills, you know. I have a massive sword skills. I'm using the great sword and the daggers. So these are the two weapons I'm using. You can switch between your weapons whenever, and then you have these weapons. And the skill overall, you have all these weapons right here. Let me show you guys 1 second. Let's get away from these NPCs real quick. But you have 7 different weapons, and you can swap between these 2 weapons whenever you guys want. You can run, I'm running double melee. You can run melee with range. You can run double range. You can run double melee. It's up to you, whatever you do with your skills. And what's really cool that makes it very unique compared to other games, because in New World, right, you have 2 weapons, each have 6 skills. But here, if you look at your skills, eventually when you level up, you will start unlocking a lot of skills. So for example, for the great sword, you have these 9 skills, and then you have like passive skills that you can have, that you can also put on. And what is really cool is eventually you can, when you unlock these skills, you can design your character like you want. You can potentially have 9 greatsword skills, because you can maximum hold up 10 skills, right? You get 9 greatsword skills and 1 dual sword skill if you want to. So you can design your characters, so the talent trees and everything will be very unique in this game when you level up and keep grinding and unlocking all the skills. So eventually, if there's a class that has 2 super strong skills, but you like running your main greatsword, for example, you can have 8 skills of greatsword and probably 2 of your wand or your staff or whatever you want to build, which is really cool. Now, early game right now, there's a lot of questing. You know, everybody's doing the main quest, which is the purple quest. So you have to be running around this map doing main quests, and a lot of quests is about killing monsters, defeating enemies. There's some gathering quests here and there. There's some smaller quest events that are happening overall, but early game is very grindy. You are grinding mobs, you're killing monsters, which is great, but it's also a lot about teaching you about the game, and it teaches you about crafting, leveling up, which is very important in this game. Because what I noticed in this game is, first of all, you have your equipment. See, I completely forgot to put in my stats right here, but here you put in, when you level up, you unlock your attribute, which you have to level up, and then it becomes overwhelming because a lot. So you have your attributes, then you have your skills, which you level up. So each skill requires this book that you get, and you have to level up your skills. And then not only that, depending on the weapon you're wearing, so right now I'm using greatsword. You see that it takes time to level up your greatsword, level up your daggers. So over time, the weapons you are using is going to be very important. So early on, try to find out what weapon you guys want to play with, because it takes a time to level up the weapons, and weapons becoming stronger. So that's another thing you have to level up. And then you have the enchantments. You have gear enchantments where you level up each weapon or gear piece. By doing this, you have to feed it materials and get it and level it up. So same, you go for the gear, and not only that, it's you have to craft in this game too, so it doesn't only stop you at just leveling up your gear, you also have to craft gear. So right now what you want to be doing if you play it is always be crafting. So you unlock crafting very early in the main city right here. You can go in the main city and teleport. Some places you can teleport for free, some places cost a little bit of gold. Gold you get it by just questing and grinding in the game. Crafting is very important early on, because when you are crafting in this game, you want to be able to get depending on your level, you start with like uncommon gear, then common gear, then rare gear, and then epic, and so on. Like you increase your rarity over time, and you constantly want to be upgrading and not saving your materials, because your materials don't matter eventually. So in this game, what matters is what level your equipment is. So you constantly want to be upgrading, because the monsters and the quest gets challenging. Even early game, you struggle sometimes. If I am, for example, let me show you my gear right now. Right now my gear isn't the best. I'm going to craft a cloak and stuff, but as you can see, I'm using my materials that I get to level up my gear, so I can defeat even quest monsters, because they get difficult, guys. The quest monsters get hard and difficult. And what is really cool about this, guys, looking away from the crafting, gearing up, leveling, and grinding, is the new features, which a lot of people had a lot of high hopes for, including me, is the weather system. So during the weather system right now, you guys can see it's clear weather, a light wind day. You can follow this, and depending on the weather, you guys can be doing more damage and meeting different type of monsters throughout the day. So early right now, I've only seen some few monsters spawn here and there. There comes a message on your screen that says it is raining now something can spawn, or now, you know. So you want to keep an eye out for the weather, and depending on the weather, for example, if it's just rainy weather, what can happen is, if you're playing a mage, for example, and you have like lightning link or whatever, you can do more damage during rainy weather. So the weather system is really cool and unique, and we haven't fully got to experience it yet because we're early game. But back to the crafting right here, right? You want to be collecting these materials while you're playing, so you guys can keep crafting and keeping up with the gear, because if you're not keeping up with the gear, you're going to be killing monsters slower, you're going to be leveling slower. So you're going to actively be crafting and grinding. So now I think I have gone through most of it. The last thing is, of course, the animals, the traveling in this game. So there's several ways you can travel. First of all is, of course, unlocking this teleport points, and then you can teleport from wherever you are. The further you go, the deeper you go, it costs more and more. You see right now it's free. Some places are free. I think the main cities are free, and then here it costs, the cost starts increasing, which will be your gold. But you should have enough gold. But gold, use gold for everything in this game, by upgrading your gear, buying stuff, even the trading house, everything requires gold. But that's a way to travel. And then you have the wolf, of course, which you can eventually start leveling up. So basically you're morphing. You guys can see here, when you level up, you increase your speed, your flying, and you can swim. Right now I haven't tested out much swimming yet, but the flying and is cool, and the wolf is cool. Now depending on my ping, right now I have a high ping, so I really struggle with flying. I fall a lot and I end up dying a lot, but the flying aspect is really cool. Probably would be better if I didn't have such high ping. But overall opinion so far of Throne of Liberty is I'm actually enjoying it. I'm having a good time just grinding and playing. It is again very grindy, a lot of like repetitive when it comes to like questing. There are some fun quests where you have to like figure out puzzles and stuff. We were doing some puzzle earlier on stream where I was just yeah, I could not figure out some of the puzzles, but it was fun overall. And I think, yeah, like this, you see, I keep like, when I try to ascend, I die, I fall down. But I have to figure out the flying for sure. But overall, the traveling in this game is fun. I do think there's too many mobs at times, but that's probably because there's so many people playing. So if there wasn't, there'd be a shortage of mobs, and there's some events happening here and there around everywhere. But that is it for Throne and Liberty, my first impressions. I'm going to be playing this game for sure right now. I know a lot of people, you have asking me about the pay to win. Now there is a cash shop in the game, there is a battle pass in the game, but I cannot give you an answer on the pay to win yet, and also the end game. So this was only my first impression, my first look. I'm gonna keep playing. We can get to the end game. We're gonna try out the PvE raids, PvP, and then the cash shop to give you guys an overall better understanding of the game. But tune in tomorrow, check out this right here, and I'll see you guys next time.